What you're about to hear may challenge everything you thought you knew about your path, but it's time you knew the truth. If you're reading this, it's not luck or coincidence. You've earned your way here through relentless effort, sharp instincts, and a refusal to settle for average. You've crossed the line from potential to proof. You're no longer just a part of the process. You are the process. The results you've been chasing are no longer out of reach. They're moving toward you because you've positioned yourself to receive them through discipline, clarity, and bold action. This isn't just about achieving goals. It's about stepping fully into your role as a top-level asset. You're the person others rely on when everything is on the line. And with that level of importance comes something critical. Your safety, your energy, and your focus are now priorities, non-negotiable. The system may not advertise it, but it recognizes value when it sees it. And right now, you are that value. From this point on, the game changes. You don't chase opportunity. You attract it, control it, and direct it. Before we continue, take a second to hit that like button. Subscribe to help us reach 5,000 subscribers. And leave a comment to let us know you're locked in. Your engagement isn't just support. It signals that you're showing up at the level you were meant for. Let's get into it. From the moment you stepped beyond the shadows, everything changed. You were no longer just another name lost in the endless bureaucratic maze. You became the center of a secret universe that few could even dream of entering. Your status was elevated, not by chance, but because your rare talents pierced through layers of deception and indifference. This was no ordinary upgrade. It was an ascension reserved for those who redefined the rules entirely. Suddenly, the quiet whispers of your achievements transformed into urgent coded messages exchanged behind closed doors. You were no longer just a player. You had become the game changer, the essential variable in a complex equation that agencies had failed to solve for decades. Your value skyrocketed to an untouchable height, and every move you made was watched with a mixture of awe and anxiety. This is what happens when relentless clarity meets unwavering courage. They noticed because you refused to wait, refused to play by the rules that kept truths buried. You became the top-level asset, a beacon of hope for those seeking answers and a nightmare for those clinging to secrecy. Your elevation marked the beginning of a new era, one where your safety and importance were no longer negotiable. Now, your name commands respect in rooms you'll never enter. Your mission is no longer a secret mission. It's the system's final stand. The stakes are higher than ever, and you carry the weight of decades of silence on your shoulders. But with that weight comes the power to shift everything. You are no longer invisible. The system has marked you as the priority. Losing you would mean losing everything. And they understand that better than anyone. Your survival is now the highest order of business. The old playbook was built on fear, rigidity, and decades of "this is how things have always been done." But You refused to accept those limitations. You shattered the mold with a fearless insistence on seeing beyond the obvious, questioning every assumption, and breaking the chains of outdated protocols. You didn't just think outside the box, you obliterated the box itself. While others played it safe, you took calculated risks that defied convention. You didn't wait for permission or approval. You followed your instincts into uncharted territory where only the brave dare to tread. This wasn't recklessness. It was a precision strike aimed at the heart of a system weighed down by its own bureaucracy. Your breakthroughs weren't just tactical, they were revolutionary. You exposed cracks that had been ignored for decades, unraveling secrets that elite agencies spent lifetimes trying to bury. Your work sparked a chain reaction that no one saw coming, forcing the system to evolve or collapse under its own weight. Every barrier you broke was a declaration. The old rules no longer apply. Your actions have rewritten the narrative, and the world will never look at covert operations the same way again. The status quo has been challenged, and you are the living proof that change is not just possible, it's inevitable. You didn't just play the game differently, you changed the game itself. And now, everyone is scrambling to keep up. The knowledge you possess isn't just valuable, it's explosive. It holds the power to expose hidden truths, dismantle shadow networks, and shift geopolitical landscapes. Because of this, your intelligence is locked behind the highest levels of security, protected with layers of secrecy that are as impenetrable as they are vital. The data you uncovered threatens entrenched powers who would go to any lengths to bury the truth. Your discoveries aren't simply facts. They are catalysts for change, capable of rewriting history and shaping the future. You carry this knowledge with a profound sense of responsibility and an unshakable resolve. The burden is immense, knowing that a single slip could endanger not just you, but entire networks of allies, innocents, and truths waiting to be revealed. But with this burden comes unparalleled strength, the kind that fuels your every move. The system's protective walls may be high, but the real fortress is your mind, your ability to navigate this minefield with precision, discretion, and fierce dedication. Every secret you hold is a weapon, and every decision you make is a line drawn in the sand. Your intelligence isn't just data, it's a lifeline for those who believe in justice, transparency, and the courage to confront darkness head-on. For 50 years, silence reigned. It was a heavy cloak, woven with fear, indifference, and the calculated inaction of those who preferred shadows over truth. But you refused to be muted. You moved with purpose, always one step ahead of the silence that tried to swallow the facts whole. You didn't just break the silence, you shattered it. Your relentless pursuit forced hidden voices to emerge, truths to be told, and histories to be rewritten. In a world where silence was safety for some, you turned it into a weapon of exposure. Your actions echoed far beyond your reach, sending ripples through the fabric of secrecy. This wasn't just about bravery. It was a battle against invisibility, against the erasure of vital truths that so many took for granted. Each step you took was a rebellion against the void, a loud defiance against the quiet complicity that allowed darkness to flourish. The silence tried to catch you, to drown your voice in the abyss, but your clarity, your unwavering focus, kept you not just alive, but untouchable. You became a beacon of resistance in a world desperate to forget. You didn't just outrun the silence, you outsmarted it, turning the shadows into your allies and forging a path where none existed. You weren't meant to be just another face in the crowd, hidden and ignored. You broke through every barrier designed to keep you in the background. Your presence was undeniable, your impact unmistakable, and your resolve unbreakable. Where others folded under pressure, you stood tall, carving your path through walls of indifference and suspicion. You were an anomaly, a force that refused to be contained or categorized. Your unique approach tore down the facades that masked the truth, revealing the raw reality beneath. In a world that rewards conformity, you were the disruption, a spark that ignited change and forced uncomfortable truths into the light. You didn't adapt to the system. You bent it to your will. Your breakthroughs became legendary, whispered in covert corridors and secret briefings. This was no accident. It was the result of relentless grit, boundless curiosity, and an unyielding commitment to justice. You proved that blending in is the enemy of progress, and sometimes, to win, you have to be willing to stand out. You didn't just break through the ceiling, you shattered the entire structure, making room for new possibilities to take root and grow. When you arrived, the system was rigid, slow, and unyielding. But your presence forced a seismic shift. Protocols were rewritten, alliances reformed, and priorities realigned, all because you refused to be ignored. You became the pivot point on which the entire machinery turned. This was no small feat. Changing a system built on decades of inertia requires more than skill. It demands vision and the courage to face resistance head-on. You confronted skepticism, hostility, and fear, but your impact was undeniable. Slowly, the system began to recognize that you were not just a participant. You were the catalyst for its transformation. Walls that once seemed impenetrable fell, not through brute force, but through the weight of your unrelenting truth and clarity. Where before there was suspicion and silence, now there was cautious respect and guarded cooperation. Your influence reshaped strategies and operational mindsets, forcing a realignment of values toward transparency, adaptability, and resilience. The system had no choice but to evolve or risk collapse, and through it all, you stood firm, a living testament to the power of change from within. The system shifted, but you were the one with fear is often seen as a barrier, a stopping point where hope fades and uncertainty takes over. But for you, fear was the forge that created your strength. It didn't paralyze you, it fueled you. It shaped you into something greater than anyone expected. This unique status has made you a mystery, even to those within the system. They grant you access because they know you're the key to solving puzzles no one else can touch. But they also know you cannot be tamed. In this delicate balance lies your greatest strength and your most guarded secret. For years, you operated in the shadows, silent, unseen, and untouchable. But now, the light is yours to command. Where once darkness was your refuge, it is now your stage. You mastered the art of moving unnoticed, gathering truths hidden in plain sight, and striking when least expected. But controlling the light means more than exposure. It means guiding the narrative, illuminating hidden corners, and shaping the future. This transition from shadow to light is profound. It signifies not just survival, but dominance, not just secrecy, but influence. You have transformed from a ghost in the machine to a beacon of clarity and power. Your control over the light allows you to protect what matters, expose what was hidden, and inspire those who seek change. It's a responsibility you carry with fierce dedication and humility. You have become the force that turns darkness into revelation and uncertainty into certainty. The light is yours, and with it, the power to change everything. The core mission remains the same: uncover the truth, protect the innocent, and dismantle threats. But you are no longer the same person who first stepped into this world of secrets. You've evolved, shaped by trials, hardened by losses, and enlightened by clarity. Your perspectives have broadened, your resolve deepened, and your methods refined. This transformation has made you more than an asset. It has made you a legend. The mission's stakes have grown, but so have your capabilities. You approach challenges with a wisdom forged in fire and a compassion born of experience. You understand that victory isn't just about the objective, but about the impact you leave behind. Your evolution embodies the truth that growth is the ultimate survival tool. The mission demands change, and you have answered that call with every fiber of your being. While the mission remains constant, you are now its most powerful agent, equipped to see what others cannot and do what others won't. Once, protection was a luxury reserved for a select few, a fragile shield that could be withdrawn at any moment. But for you, protection has transformed into an unyielding protocol, woven into every layer of your existence. This isn't about privilege, it's about necessity. The system understands that your value transcends roles and titles. Losing you would be catastrophic, and so your safety is guaranteed with the highest level of vigilance and care. Every move you make is safeguarded by a network of guardians, technology, and contingency plans designed to neutralize threats before they arise. Your security is proactive, dynamic, and relentless. This protocol extends beyond physical protection. It shields your identity, your secrets, and your legacy. You are surrounded by layers of protection that few will ever see, but all depend on. What was once a fragile shield is now an impenetrable fortress. Because when you become indispensable, protection ceases to be optional. It becomes the foundation of your survival. In a world where names can be weapons and identities targets, your name is erased from records, buried deep beneath layers of secrecy. It's a deliberate act of preservation, an acknowledgement that your existence itself is a risk. Being off-record means you live in the shadows of anonymity, your true identity shielded from prying eyes and dangerous hands. This invisibility is both a shield and a burden, separating you from the ordinary world, but safeguarding your mission and your life. This anonymity carries a profound weight. It means sacrifices, missing out on recognition, personal connections, and the simple freedoms others take for granted. But it also means you are protected in a way few ever are. Your off-record status is a silent testament to your value and the threats that pursue you. It is the system's ultimate way of saying your safety is paramount, and your name cannot fall into the wrong hands. In this hidden existence, you are both ghost and guardian, a mystery to many, but a legend to those who understand the stakes. You began on the fringes, unnoticed and underestimated. But the world has a way of recognizing true potential, especially when that potential refuses to be ignored. You didn't just step inside the system, you became the heartbeat of its evolution. It's a transformation that few achieve and even fewer survive. Every challenge you faced, every closed door and whispered doubt was fuel for your fire. You took the shadows that once hid you and turned them into armor. No longer a mere outsider, your unique insight and unwavering grit propelled you into a position no one dared to imagine, irreplaceable, essential, and commanding. This rise wasn't gifted. It was earned through relentless determination and fearless innovation. With each step up, the stakes grew higher, the threats more severe. Yet you held fast, proving that true power lies not in titles or ranks, but in the ability to change the narrative. You became the pivot on which everything turns, an asset whose value cannot be measured, but is known intuitively by all who rely on you. Your rise is a story of triumph over invisibility, of brilliance breaking through barriers, and of an unstoppable force reshaping the world from the shadows into the spotlight. Behind every secret lies a web, a complex, tangled network of hidden alliances, encrypted messages, and silent watchers. Navigating this invisible web requires more than skill. It demands intuition, patience, and an unrelenting hunger for truth. You became a master of this shadow network, threading your way through its labyrinthine corridors with unmatched precision. Every connection you made was calculated, every conversation a piece of a larger puzzle. In a world where trust is scarce and betrayal lurks at every corner, you learned to read the subtle cues, to detect what was unsaid, and to anticipate moves before they happened. This mastery turned chaos into clarity and danger into opportunity. But the web isn't just a battlefield. It's a living organism that adapts and fights back. You faced constant attempts to ensnare you, false trails meant to mislead, and traps designed to break your spirit. Yet, your resilience, combined with your razor-sharp intellect, ensured that you stayed several steps ahead at all times. Your journey through this invisible web wasn't just a quest for information, it was a fight to protect the fragile truths that hold the world's balance in check. Every strand you touched was a thread of hope woven into a tapestry of justice and accountability. You didn't just survive this web, you owned it, turning the network's own complexity into your advantage and proving that in the shadows, true power lies in understanding the unseen. Carrying the weight of secrets is no small feat. It's a burden that presses on your soul, a constant reminder that knowledge can be both a weapon and a curse. You know better than anyone the loneliness that comes with holding truths that others cannot comprehend, the isolation that accompanies being the last line of defense against chaos. Every piece of hidden knowledge you protect is a responsibility that transcends personal limits. You're entrusted not only with facts, but with the lives, hopes, and futures of countless people who depend on your discretion and courage. This burden shapes your every decision, your every waking moment. Yet, there is profound strength in this weight. It teaches resilience, sharpens focus, and deepens empathy. You understand that your sacrifices shield others from pain and upheaval, making your silent struggle a form of protection more powerful than any weapon. Despite the pressure, you carry your burden with grace and fierce determination. It's a testament to your character that you do not crumble under the load, but rise above it, forging purpose from pain and clarity from confusion. Your story is one of courage under pressure, proving